Sam, that's pure poetry. Thank you. So our second speaker of this evening, Dawn. I had a little thing prepared for her, but it totally goes out the window because this is an evening to celebrate. So Dawn here and Creighton, who will be playing the piano with her, got engaged last night. So we get their first performance together as an engaged couple, which is kind of a big deal. So without further ado.
This is my object. And I'm going to pass it around as well. And funny enough, my ring is a pearl, and this boat is called the American Pearl. This boat's called the American Pearl. And I am writing a musical about the woman who rowed a boat. This is an exact model that she made. She rowed it across the ocean. She was the first woman that did it, first American, first woman in 1999. But I'm going to pass it around. And she made this, and it's to spec. So she slept here, and these are little oars. They go in the oar locks if you want to play around. And this is the one of her buckets. She had two buckets. She called it Bucket and Chuck It. That was the bucket for chucking, and then there was the food bucket. So I lost the food bucket, but you can just use your imagination. All right, I'm going to do like a very quick summary of her. So I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and I read about her when I was in high school. And this was her boat, the American Pearl, and it was named that because she wore pearls that were given to her by Maasai. They're a tribe in Africa, and she did some hiking and met these holy men, and they gave her these pearls, and so to this day she wears pearls. So I guess I do too. And she's an incredible person, very accomplished. She was 34 years old when she did her first attempt. She started in North Carolina. She practiced on the Ohio River. If anyone's ever been there, it's very flat. Woohoo, Midwest, Midwesterners. So that's no ocean. But she set out in North Carolina for this voyage, this 3-month voyage, totally on her own. No one was trailing her. She didn't have a sail or a motor or anything, all by herself. She slept in the cabin and rode 8 to 10 hours a day. Sometimes at night she would drift backwards because of the current. She was trying to find the Gulf Stream, and she almost lost her mind because she lost all of her communication about 7 days in. So she was out alone on the ocean for almost 3 months when she hit a hurricane, and it nearly killed her. But she kept video logs of this whole journey, and I'm turning her story into a musical. So I'm really shortening the story because I want to play you some songs from the show, but basically she almost dies, and she gets rescued at sea by a freighter. They bring her back to America. She's broke. She's like really embarrassed. Her face is all over the paper as this woman tried, but she didn't do it. She got close. She rode 20,000 miles, 2,000 miles on her own, and then got hit by Hurricane Danielle. But then what happens in the story is a year later, she tries again, and she's competing against 2 other women who have read about her trying to do this thing, and she's essentially racing them. I think it's a woman from Switzerland and a French woman, and they go the other way, which is the easy way, from east to west, because the wind pushes you that way. So they say you could make it in a barrel. If you got in a barrel, you could float the wind would push you eventually. But so she does that successfully, and she becomes the first woman to row across the Atlantic Ocean the next year in 1999. That's a very abbreviated version of the story, but I'm going to play you a song.